Thirsty. Alright, let's talk about movies. This is awkward. Alright. Hi. My name is Phoenix. I don't know how to start this. But if you're watching this, you know why you're here. You read the title. You know me. And if you don't, you're getting to know me. I had a breast reduction at the age of 17. When you're watching this, it'll be exactly a year. And I just want to talk about it because it's a lot more common than people think. It's a lot more requested than people think. A lot of people want one, but they don't know how to go about one because it's like cosmetic surgery and like just a bunch of things. And a surgery is serious. Nobody really wants to do surgery unless it's like needed. And a lot of the times, a lot of people don't associate getting your boobs done as a necessity. It's like, oh, I need this surgery because I just broke my foot, or I need the surgery to take out my wisdom teeth. But not like, oh, I need the surgery because my boobs are too heavy. But I did it, and it's been one of the best things that have ever happened to me, and I just want to talk about it with all of you. So I'm going to go through the whole process, really, because I've been asked so many questions about it, so I'm going to go through from at a young age, and preparing for it, and it happening, and afterwards, and where we are a year later. So I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so I have it all written down because I ramble and I need to keep focused. So I've always had a pretty big chest for my age, or it's just bigger than everyone else. I'd say probably by the time I was like 9, I was wearing a training bra or a sports bra. It became a bit difficult, just always being known as, not being known as the girl with big boobs, but always kind of just having a chest and no one else is, and everyone asking how old are you, or are you stuffing your bra, and all these other things, and it just became always something to worry about. And by the time I was like 10, I was like a C cup. Yeah, I was wearing my mom's bras because she was like, I don't know what's happening. I'm like, I don't know either. And for a while, I was fluctuating with my weight, so I was losing weight, gaining weight. So I expected it to be like, oh, you lose some weight, it'll be gone, or oh, if you just lost some weight, it would be gone. I'm kind of tricking myself, but that wasn't necessarily the case. So once middle school came around, they were still getting bigger, and it wasn't necessarily that I was like gaining a bunch of weight, but like I was a very active person. I did sports, I danced. Like it wasn't like I was just sitting at home on the couch and just letting the pounds add on, and it was just so happened to all go into my chest. Like, come on now. But by the time I was in the 7th grade, I was a double D, and I became known the girl with the boobs. Like, I mean, that's not all that I was known for, but it was a very it was a thing that if you had to describe, oh, you know Phoenix, oh yeah, the one with the boobs, yeah, her. And it became a bit difficult to shop for clothes after a while, because certain things that like, oh, girls will just wear this, or you could just wear this strapless top, or I can just go outside in a tank top. No, because in the world that we live in, that's a different video. But no, that's not a thing for me. But that was a bit difficult, and as I said before, I played sports, so it was even more difficult wearing 2 bras. I would end up wearing a regular bra and a sports bra, and I'd always wear that just as extra, just support and just hold up. And it was just like, yeah, I need this. And then things became a bit more difficult as I got even older, because they were growing so much, and I used to have really bad stretch marks, and I was so self-conscious about my stretch marks, just because it was just so bad. Like, it was just like tiger stripes, like horrible. And then like, who wants to be 13 years old worrying about stretch marks. Like, that's not, like, I shouldn't be worrying about that, but that was my own worries. And so it was a lot to try to figure out how to cover this up. Oh, should I not wear this? Should I not do that? What do I do? And it made me feel less beautiful, and it made it more difficult for me to feel confident in myself. And then as I kept growing, they were growing really fast, so then they're starting to like sag a bit, and it's like, I don't want to be, 14, 15, feeling like I have old woman boobs. Like, it didn't help with my body image and me loving myself. And as I got older, I kept telling them, I was like, Mom, when I'm older, I'm at the house, I'm gonna get a reduction. I'm gonna do this and get rid of that. And she's like, okay. And like, we never really thought about it. I knew I would get one in the future, but I didn't expect it to be like right around the corner. And I was like 13 at the time, having this conversation with my mom. That I came from a family that was like decently chested. I mean, the sizes ranged, but it was just so weird to always have this issue. And as I got older, it got really bad. So another shock about how I came into this decision, actually. I'm just gonna skip ahead. I was starting my senior year of high school, and I remember I was getting out of the shower, and I always just make sure my body's okay, like nothing crazy's happening. And I was looking at my boobs in the mirror, and I literally started to tear up, because I was like, they just did not look cute. Like they just didn't look like I didn't have like a 17-year-old body. It was like, I just looked at them and I teared up, and I was just like, I don't like this. Like, I'm not happy. Who's chopping onions? Man, I wasn't supposed to cry till the end. And I remember going up to my mom and just kind of explaining to her, oh, who's chopping onions? If anybody can guess how many times I'll cry in this video, good enough. But I remember going into my mom's room, and I have a very great relationship with my mother. I'm thankful for that. And I kind of just, I remember, I think my robe opened up, and she was like, Phoenix, and I was like, what? And she was like, come here. And we basically just had a discussion about how, like, I really didn't like how they were shaping, and how they were, what was happening to my body. And as a mother, I mean, I can only speak so much for her, but as a mother, it's difficult, I'm sure, to feel that way and like see your own child feel this way. And we had talked about me wanting a reduction at some point, and we didn't expect it to be this soon, but it happened. And when she saw how serious I was, like, we started planning it. I was just worried about so many things, like, when is this gonna happen? How are we gonna find time to do this? How much is it gonna cost? I'm going into college soon. It was just a lot. It was just so much. But I asked people to ask me questions. I had gotten asked, was there anything I could have done to prevent me needing the surgery? And I'd say no. A lot of times, doctors would tell you, oh, try to lose some weight if you have like weight problems, because I did suffer from weight problems. Try to lose some weight and see if that makes a difference. But so for some people it does, depending on how much needs to be changed or what exactly you're hoping out of that surgery. For myself, it really wasn't gonna do much, because my shape, and like, even if I lost some of the boobs, like the shape and stuff, I still wanted to change that and just reconstruct. And even if I lost weight, what was I gonna go down to? A triple D? Like, that's still a lot. Like, there wasn't much I could do genetically or on a more scientific level. My mother explained to me that some people just have like something in their body just produces more and more fat cells in their chest, and so that just kind of happens. It's just like a constant production. There's probably hormones or something, and something that we've been eating that causes this, but that's a different video that I won't be making. But I've suffered from back pains and shoulder pains and neck pains for most of my life because of my chest. And as I got older, it became really, really difficult. Like, some days I couldn't get up, some days my neck was so stiff. And as I mentioned before, I danced, and dance became a big part of my life. I was dancing every single day. It was always a struggle with refitting costumes and doubling up on this and having to buy this minimizer and do this and do that and all these type of things. I was like, I don't want to have to live my life like this. So I was really hoping we could have the surgery happen. And I had previously talked to my doctors when I was younger, telling them about my back pain, so it was already known. And my mom, she said, no matter what, we're giving you this surgery. And she found a doctor in Great Neck, a surgeon, and I went in for a consultation, and I kind of just talked about everything. And they were so kind and supportive and understanding about things, and it just felt good to know that, like, it was understood that I wasn't crazy for feeling like this. And so then, like, alright, we're gonna try to help you. And my mom was talking about cost, and I remember they said it wouldn't have to be paid for if we could build a case. And basically, building a case means you're trying to show your insurance why this type of procedure is considered a medical necessity, because off the bat, this type it wouldn't seem that way. So therefore, you would have to pay for it yourself. And my mom said even if we had to pay for it ourselves, we would still do it, but it doesn't hurt to try. So they wrote on file everything that I had complained about. They went to my doctors, pulled all the charts up when I was complaining. My doctor prescribed me painkillers, and the painkillers didn't work. And I went to physical therapy. I did go to physical therapy. I went for like 2 sessions. The first session was a consultation, and they really did see there were like a lot of things wrong. My spine was curved a bit. My posture was off. My hips were like overly rotated. It was so many things because of me having to support my chest. If you can also tell throughout the whole entire video, my shoulders do slant. One is lower than the other. That is from me overcompensating with holding a purse with like a heavy chest. Like, I still have permanent issues, not permanent, but long-lasting issues from having to deal with all that, but I'm working on making that better. So I really didn't need this, and so after building all that up, I waited, and we sent things in. The surgeon sent in all the information to my insurance company, and I remember getting a call from my mom at the end of the day of school. She said it got covered, it got cleared, and it was just so amazing. It was like such great news. It was like, hey, this is happening. It got covered, it got cleared, we're good. And it was just such a great. It felt good. I felt okay again. My surgery was $10,000 basically, and that covered everything. That covered the extra surgery, my appointments to go see my surgeon, so I never had to pay anything when I went to go see my surgeon. It was all under that insurance blessing. It was, yeah, so $10,000, everything. I had to just pay the $500 copay, which isn't bad compared to the two when you much rather pay. So I can't complain. And I only ever paid that when I went to get my blood work done, and that was for like the copay for the surgery, and that was it. The $10,000 covered medications too, so all everything that I take afterwards as well. So we were constantly, not constantly, but heading back and forth to the surgeon maybe like 2 more times. So before I had it, so I started planning my surgery about September, and I had it in July. So from then, I visited my surgeon just like maybe like a few times. I can't remember off the bat, maybe like 2 or 3 times before, just to make sure things are still okay. Do you still want this? He went in, when I went in, probably like close to like the 2nd time, they explained to me what exactly would be happening, the types of incisions, the process, the whole thing. So now we can get started on talking about the actual surgery. So when I went in to see my surgeon, he explained to me, because that's how much reconstruction they kind of had to do to my chest. Mind you, at the time I was a 38F. That was my size. By the time when he explained it, they did an anchor incision, so I'll probably post a picture of what that would mean somewhere. So they cut around the areola, down, and then underneath. there's 3 different variations of that type of incision. The healing process. He explained to me that when I wake up, I may or may not have tubes in to help with draining. I didn't have to have tubes. He said it wasn't too liquidy or too bloody or whatever, so I didn't need to have tubes. A lot of times, out of people from videos that I've watched, that the pain was like a lot. It was just uncomfortable. I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I've never had a surgery before. This is my first surgery, and it's like this big thing. So it's just like, okay. But okay, so that was mainly it. So the night before, what you have to do is they give you, well, I went in a week before my surgery, and I got blood work done to make sure nothing was wrong. You pay your copay. So you do pay a $500 copay, depending on your insurance and everything. So I paid a $500 copay as well. So after my blood work, they give you this package thingy. I'll try to find a picture of it. And it has like a weird soap, like a sponge that's just saturated in like this soapy liquid, and it's in 2 bags. And you have to take a specific type of shower right before your surgery, whether you take a night shower or a morning shower person. So I'm a night person, so I took my shower the night before my surgery, or you can take it the morning of, whatever you do. And so basically, I don't fully remember it, but you have to like shower, take a regular shower. So I like did a really full shower because I was like, I'm not gonna be able to really move around much, so I want to make sure everything's like comfortable. And then you have to wash yourself with one of the sponges, and then rinse yourself off with one of the sponges, and that's it. And after you do that, you cannot put anything on your body. Like, you can't put a lotion, deodorant, you can't put nothing in your hair. Yeah, you can't. I had to take off my nails because I needed to, whatever this is. But like nothing. Like, you just have to be ashy, a little stinky. Like, you can't, nothing. And it was just like, I just feel so dry. I couldn't put on no Carmex, no nothing. Like, just nothing. But yeah, so I went to sleep. I couldn't sleep. My surgery was a bit far. I took a little farther out, so I had to be up at like 5:30 in the morning to get there for like 7, because it takes like an hour to get there. I was up at 5:30, and I didn't go to sleep till like 2 o'clock. So I was on 3 hours of sleep. So the next day rolls around, I'm loopy. I'm not loopy, but I'm just so sleep deprived. I'm nervous. I'm literally terrified. I have bad anxiety. And so I'm just like, and my mom, she's a mom, so she's freaking out. My dad's just trying to hide the fact that he's kind of freaking out. And so we get there, and so they tell you have to pee in a cup to do one last bit of testing. But I peed right before I went, and I was so nervous that I couldn't pee again. So I just do blood work, and so I was there. So they were asking me questions about stuff. I don't know. It was just a really long process. That part, like, that's really the longest process. And so, and I'm tired too, and I haven't eaten. I can't eat. Me not eating. Have you met me? So that happened, and then about like an hour or so later, my surgeon came in. I met both my surgeons. I had 2 surgeons and like their whole team, and my main surgeon that was doing the actual work, he came in and he drew a bunch of lines on me with like a marker that took forever to wash off, but to just make sure everything's symmetrical. And he asked me again around what size. I said I don't want to take out too much, but I want it to be worth it. And so that happened, and so then they waited for the blood work to be cleared, and then they gave me like a pre-sedation type of medication, and I just started giggling. I was so loopy. I was really tired. My mom was like, what did y'all do to my kid? And I went in, and I was so mad because I wanted to do a countdown, and I didn't get to do a countdown. Like, you know when they like say, okay, count backwards from 10? I didn't get to do that. I was so tired because I was laying there. I don't even remember what the room looked like. I was just so sleepy, just drugged up. And they're like, okay, we're gonna put the anesthesia in, and I felt it go through my body. I don't know, maybe I did. I kind of felt it, and I was looking around. I was waiting for this countdown, but I was so sleepy. And the last thing I remember is, okay, we're gonna lift up your arms. And I remember this, and that was it. And I was out like a light. That was the best sleep I ever gotten. I woke up in the hospital bed, just sitting there, so confused. I was just like, Like, I didn't know what happened. I was still hopped up on the anesthesia. It turned out it was like 5 hours later. I didn't even know. I was like, oh. And the nurse was like, you're awake. And I was just like, and I was so out of it. I was like, I was so loopy. I was like, I missed it. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, man. And I was really loopy. And she was like, they put like these blood pressure cuffs on your legs to kind of like, not blood pressure cuffs, but these things on your legs to like get the blood flow moving again. And they kept doing my blood pressure, like a machine kept doing it. And I was like, is this thing done yet? And I was just really like, just out of it. And then I think the nurse just thinks I was crazy. But, and so they waited about an hour, just for the anesthesia to go through. And I really wasn't in that much pain, you know. My mom told me that they said it went well, got everything done. It was good, it was calm. She didn't say it was calm. But like, it went well. And I remember saying it happened, and I finally stood up. I didn't sit up, but like I kind of sat up, and I was like, oh my god, I don't feel anything on my chest. I ain't crying, no runs. I felt so good. I woke up and I didn't have any pain. Like, I woke up and my chest just felt like a normal chest, and it was like, oh. And they put the bra on me already. They put like this strappy bra. It's just like to just hold things together. And my boobs were like mannequin boobs. Like I couldn't touch them. They were like so swollen and just like tight. And I was just like, I ain't moving. I purposely made sure I wore a really comfy outfit. So I wore sweats that are easy to put on. I had a sports bra on, and I had a zip-up hoodie. Because you cannot raise your hands. You cannot raise your hands, because with how deep my incision was, it went all the way here. About, you can't. You're gonna pull. You just don't do it. So just invest in a lot of button-ups. So a lot of my pajamas and stuff, I got a lot of pajama tops that were button-ups, or a zip-up hoodie. That way, I barely had to move. I wasn't in pain. I really was not in that much pain. It was just uncomfortable. Like, it was just very tight and really swollen. So under here was really swollen. It felt like I had like a clutch purse under here. Like, that's the best way I can describe it. And they reeled me out. They gave me a pillow. The pillow I had, I don't know where it is in my room. They gave me a pillow just to hold, because driving back, little bumps and moves were like terrifying. But I came home and I took my medication. So I was on Percocets. And I don't know if I said it before, but the left side kind of taken out more tissue. The right side had taken out more fat. In total, I took out 2.7 pounds. 2.7 pounds off of my chest. So now you can see why I really needed this. My left side, I had minor issues just with some healing in like the cross sections of incisions, which is very common. Not very common, but it's a common place for an issue to occur. And because we took out more issue, that like more tissue causes more issues. There we go. But don't be alarmed by it. It's very common. As soon as you see it, call your doctor, call the surgeon. I just need to put some type of ointment that I already had in the house on there, and I was good. Like I said, I had anchor incisions. The darker your complexion or more darker skin tones are more prone to keloids, which are like scars that are raised or bumps. I don't know how to describe it. They really weren't that bad. My keloids are like only right here. I only have some right here, and they're very flat. They're very not like annoying, or like you won't have any like ugly scars or anything. Right here is very flat. This was like literally looks like a thread. Like, that's how tiny the scarring is. Around my boobs, same thing. So it really isn't, for how much I got toe up, like for a little scar right here, I'm not complaining. Like, I can't complain. I would say, depending, everyone's to each their own, depending on the type of reduction you're getting as well. I did lose some feeling in my nipples, I haven't gained back all the feeling. I do it's like I do feel things. I was checking to make sure I feel some things, but it will take a while. For everyone, it doesn't always come. It doesn't always show up right away, and it's fine. You'll be okay. Some people don't get it back at all. It really isn't as scary as you think. I was terrified when I looked it up, but really I've kind of forgotten about it. But I do have some feeling. All the stitches are inside, so there's not like anything to pull out. You won't see any strings, and they dissolve. With the bandages that they had everywhere. They'll slowly start to fall off, or you'll know when you need to take them off. Like if you're taking it and it hurts a little bit, you could just cut wherever it's like completely gone, and just leave the rest. And slowly they'll start to come off as you're showering. You keep them on even while you shower. And they'll slowly start to come off when they're ready. So you might just have like 2 or 3 of them in your bed every night, slowly. I'd say you will go through moments of, because they cut up so much, and they're changing the shape. Nerves get cut, so they're slowly reconnecting. For a while, you'll have moments of having a conversation and then pausing, because you just feel it. It's not a pain. It's a pain, but I wouldn't say it's like a excruciating pain. It just feels like someone just like pinched you, and you just kind of feel it, and it'll just be like, and then it goes away, and that's just them reconnecting. So you'll kind of feel that for a bit. It's not a big issue, not a big. So I was in bed for most of the time. My mom, she invested in like those pillows that are like, I'll post a picture of it, but it was just great because I couldn't lay down. I couldn't. I usually sleep on my stomach, but I couldn't anymore. Because no, so I was just kind of, I would sleep sitting up or something. Like by mid-August, I was sleeping on my stomach again. Maybe even before mid-August. So that was still, that wasn't bothering me too much. I finally was able to sleep, laying down. Slowly but surely, your body kind of is comfortable with it. With how I was sleeping, I was always sitting up. After a while, I'd slowly start to feel myself like I'd wake up and I'd be laying down flat. And I was like, I'm a wild sleeper too. So like I'd slowly get that way, and there would be moments where I kind of wake up on almost on my stomach and I'd freak out a bit. I was able to walk, I was able to stand up, I was able to move around. Like I came home and I basically lived in my robe for a while. I was just chilled. I wasn't sure about this recovery process, but it really wasn't that bad. You're not in pain. You're not in pain. You're rarely in pain. Maybe a little tight, maybe a little sore, but I wouldn't say like I woke up in pain a lot. Probably the most difficult thing was showering. So let me explain showering. I would suggest, if you don't have a woman in your household or a female that you are comfortable with seeing you naked, find someone that you're comfortable with and have them stay with you, because showering is a bit difficult. I'm a fraidy cat, scaredy cat, and so I was like nervous. So you couldn't shower the first day. You had to wait till the next day. And Lord, I tell you, showering gave me the most anxiety. Because it's like naked, and it's like I had to take off the bra, and I finally saw my boobs without. I finally took off the bra and I saw my boobs, and I was like, I want to put the bra back on right now. And so everything was like stitched up like a lot, and you saw a little bit of dried up blood, and those little marks he made were still there. I want to know what type of Sharpie that is, because what the hell. But they were so small. That's when they do them, they're like here, and then as they get older, they kind of come down. Not older, but as time goes on, they come down and become normal boobs again. But it was just like, I want to go get them, and I was terrified. I was like, Mom, they're gonna fall off. We're gonna like. I was convinced my nipple was gonna fall off. So the first day I was so terrified. I was like, Mom, cover them up. And she put saran wrap, and she lightly wrapped saran wrap around my boobs. I was like, thank you. And I took the shower, and I had like a detachable head, so I wouldn't even let the water touch my boobs. So I was like, I would like let it run against my shoulder and then let it fall wherever it may. And it was like a standing sponge bath basically. That was hell. Afterwards, I went to school, and towards late August I left for school, and I felt really great. I felt okay enough to be away from home with having done the surgery. I felt safe. I was able to walk around. I was partying. I was having fun. I was wearing normal bras. So I wore like the hook bras for about from the surgery to about August, so about late August. And I got bralettes. I had so many bralettes from Aerie because they're really comfortable. I usually would have been able to wear a size large, if probably. Like I was thinking I could wear a large, so I got it, but I got extra large, just because the larges were a bit tight. They weren't too tight, but I didn't want too much pressing on them while they were still healing. So I got an extra large, and that was like late August. I started to wear those, and then by November I invested in some real bras, like some underwire bras. They say for the first 3 months of your surgery, do not wear anything with underwire, just for comfort reasons. But like those rubbing against your incisions, you don't really want that. You don't really want that. I got my bras from Victoria's Secret. I regret them because I don't like Victoria's Secret bras. They said I was 38 triple D. How do I go down one size after a reduction? I'm really at 36 double D, which sounds a whole lot better. 36 double D, 38 double D, and I really am happy with that size. So I felt good with that. Once I wore the underwire, it didn't really bother me too much. If I got a little sweaty, then maybe, but nothing too bad. It didn't cause any extra scarring. It felt good to finally be able to just wear what I wanted to wear, and to like just feel however I wanted to feel about things, like wear what I wanted to wear, bras I wanted to wear. I didn't have to worry about getting another size in this, because with this fabric I might fit tight around my boobs. That wasn't my issue anymore. So that was great. Your boobs will be very much up and right here, and just very perky and pronounced, and these are your boobs, and that's where they are. And slowly but surely they'll like kind of come back together, and they're movable, because you can't, like, literally it just feels like it's like on your body. You can't move like a Barbie doll, like they're just there, and that's where they belong. But give it time and they'll slowly start to like become normal boobs again. I'd say it did a lot mentally and emotionally as much as it did physically to me. I felt so happy after it happened. While recovering, all I could think about is like, but I can wear it, no, I'm gonna wear that, this. And it was a very great moment. So any moment where you feel like your life is improving and things are becoming better is a great feeling. So to have that was great. I remember finally looking in the mirror, and I was like, I really like how I look. Like, my body looked so much more different, and I just looked like the woman I kind of wanted to become. I felt less self-conscious about myself. Because it was such a great change. You know, you get all this energy, it's like, oh, I can do this now, and I can wear that now, and then it's like, well, I can start this too while I'm at it, and I can finally work out again. And that means I'll lose some weight, and that means my health will be better. It was a domino effect of things, and I'm still feeling things are like, now I'm still having moments of now I can do this, like still rolling. And it is just the best feeling in the world. It's just one of the best feelings in the world. I'm so thankful for it. I'll do whatever in my life to help me with this decision, this process, this part of my life, this chapter. I love you all. I love my mom. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad. Thank you to my grandparents. Thank you to my best friends, to my sister, to anybody who has known me before it and know my struggle. And it's like watching this now, or they'll meet me now, and I tell them about this part of my life, and just thank you everyone who visited me. Thank you, God. Thank you to the higher powers, the earth, to all of it. I thank myself for being brave enough to want to listen to talking about it and to making this big decision, because it is a big decision. It is, if you're going through it, if you're watching this and you're thinking about getting it, or if you're getting it and you're preparing for it, give yourself a pat on the back. You know, I was planning this my senior year of high school. You know, I'm still worrying about prom and graduation and a surgery. Like, give yourself the credit that you deserve, and no matter when you decide to do this, be thankful for the fact that you are doing it. Trust in yourself and trust that this will only benefit you. I have never met, and my mother has said this as well, she's never known anybody to get one and regret it. You'll rarely ever see someone regret it. I don't regret it one bit. I'm so thankful for being in a position, for living the life that I live, where I'm able to do so. Where I'm able to do so. And anybody that is watching this and anybody that's unsure of how this is gonna go, please know that at the end of it, you will be so happy. I'll make it a year later, and I'm so happy with my choice. I'm just so happy, and I can't believe it's been a year. And this is only one part of my life, only one portion of my life, and I will continue to be improving myself in all ways, shapes, and forms, and you should do the same. And yeah, so thank you for watching. I know I probably forgot some things. I'm a bit stupid, so message me questions, leave comments with questions, anything box. So like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for listening to one of the chapters of my very long story, and I hope to see you again. Bye.